Tuesday. We are connected and recording. Welcome all. Truth Bomb Tuesday.
What
So
up? It's my favorite day of the week. I love me a good Truth Bomb Tuesday.
it is. And today is this one really hit me hard. Truth Bomb. You could only control one thing, and the Truth Bomb is going to hit all of us hard, but it hit me hard. So Jess, share with me how you came up with this one because I loved it.
Oh man, so let me tell you something. I freaking love coaching. I love it so much. And this Truth Bomb came from the mouth of one of my clients this last week. She was changing her diet and in the break room, and she had a food critic come into the break room and just totally criticize her for making changes. And this client has got her power back. She straight up looked this woman in the eye and she said, look, if I can't control what I put in my mouth, how can I possibly control anything else in my life? And I was like, oh, roasted. And here's the truth. You can only control one thing, and that is yourself. And she is stepping into her ownership, and she is controlling what she can control, which is what she puts in her mouth. And all I got to say is fist bump to her, because that's freaking amazing, right?
Oh,
Boom.
boom. And that's such a truth. Like, I tell people, like, I've had this experience myself, and I've shared with clients, and I love it, is no matter how crazy our life is, no matter how busy, no matter what's going on, the one thing we can control is what we put in our mouth, and we could choose that, right?
Amen. Amen. Well, and this is like perfect timing because Halloween is in 2 days, right? And you want to talk about like all out permission to go hog wild and be completely disgusting and put everything in your mouth for the next few days. Like, this is one of those times that our society gives us permission to just like eat. And it's everywhere. It's in our house, it's in our place of work, it's in the grocery store, it's at the bank, wherever we go, there is a bowl of temptation. And the truth is, you can't control the temptation. You can't control that it's sitting everywhere in your face, but you can certainly control if your hand goes in there and unwraps it and puts it in your mouth, right? This is something that you absolutely can control. Ain't nobody doing that for you.
And let's be real here. Like, there's been times where I didn't control what I put in my mouth, and there's times where you just feel it. But I have to say, parts of my life felt out of control at those points, right?
Mm-hmm.
And
Mm-hmm.
so I'm a firm believer. I've done a lot of kind of personal development. I listen to things and working with clients as well. In my own journey is like, how I do one thing is how I do a lot of things. I'm going to say everything, but
Mm-hmm.
this becomes a blueprint for other areas in your life, right? Because there's only one thing you can control is yourself. And if I can't control what I put in my mouth, what else? And this is just food for thought. Sit with this in your head. What else in my life can I not control that I may have control over, right? Would you
Mm-hmm.
agree, Jess?
Amen. Amen. Like, another thing that you absolutely have control over is your reaction, right? People might piss you off. People might make you sad. People might do stuff that totally invades your sense of privacy or pushes the boundaries of your morals or whatever it is. You can't control them, but you can always control how you choose to react to it. And I think that that's something that most people don't understand these days is we are conditioned to be reactionary, right? I mean, take a look at reality TV. All reality TV does is like highlight how amazing it is to be stupid and reactive and drama. They don't teach you how to control what you can control, which is your reaction. And I have another client, actually, she's going through element 4 and element 5 in the book, in the life book. And both of those elements talk about taking back your power and refocusing on what it is that you can control. And she said to me, she said, I am literally realizing that before I started this journey, everything in my life felt out of control, including what I put in my mouth, and including the way that I reacted to people. And now I'm realizing that those were choices, that I have a choice to control myself. I have a choice as to what goes in my mouth, when it goes in my mouth, how much of it goes in my mouth. And I have a choice as to how I react to people. And before this journey, I just felt totally out of control. She told me that she was actually in her bed crying because she felt so out of control and she didn't know where to find an answer, and she just felt hopeless. And now she is in control of what she puts in her mouth, and she's in control of her thoughts, and she's in control of her reactions. And literally that one word, you are in control of you, and that is it. And if you can't even control you, then you're up the creek, probably without a paddle and maybe a Snickers bar.
The old Schitt's Creek, right? SCHIDTZ, Schitt's, right?
That's amazing.
That's that creek. It's somewhere. I don't even know where that is, but it's Schitt's Creek, right? But you bring up a good point, and this is the joy of coaching, and this is the joy why I need a coach, not only in my health journey, but my life journey, right? Is I think we get so overwhelmed with life. We get so busy. We've had a lot of things go on in our world, which may suck, right? And I think the biggest thing that I've found, not only my own journey, but when I coach other people, is that we forgot that we have the ability to choose. Like,
Yep.
you could choose something else, and people are, and I find it when you're caught up in the mental stuff, the mental noise, is you forget that you have the ability to choose. And it's actually, I find that people feel trapped. Like I felt trapped. In reality, no matter what it is, what can you choose? You could choose your job. You could, everyone's like, I gotta work, I gotta do this. But in reality, they could let you go tomorrow. All this stuff happens that's out of your control. Or you could choose a better career. You could choose to make a difference. You could choose all of these things, but it's like we get overwhelmed. Does that make sense? Do you agree on that?
Totally. Well, I just got done literally before this call listening to like this little motivational speech by Steve Harvey. And he said, at some point in your life, you have to jump. You have to take that leap of faith to take a stand for what it is that you really want to create. And he said, I guarantee you, in order to get what you want, you are gonna have to make the jump, right? And making that jump is a choice, and making that jump can be scary. But the truth is, when you jump, that parachute will open for you and your possibilities will become endless. But if you never jump, that parachute will never open. And you always at any second have the choice. And the other thing that I love that he said is like, people are like, I got bills. And he's like, here's the thing, whether you jump off that cliff or not, you're going to have bills. So stop using that as your excuse, right? I was like, oh, another truth bomb. We could probably pick that one apart next week. But, he's absolutely right. You are on that cliff. You have the choice to jump. You can control that. You can't control anything else.
You can't. And that's awesome. And you were talking and sharing about that, right? So the ability is we get so sucked up in our own drama and our own stuff and our own mind that we forget that we have the ability to choose. The other thing that I found, and this happened to me this weekend, is I took some time. I did something I enjoyed. I was outside. I just decharged for a minute. And I almost forgot what I wanted. Like, we get so tied into all the busyness and have-tos and all that, we forget what we want. We have the ability to choose certain things that we want, especially with our health journey, right? Hey, you want to fit in that bikini? Hey, guys, you want to get that you don't want to win that Dickie Do Award, the belly over. You don't have to have that if you don't want.
You sure don't. Amen. So, well, I've got another client that I was talking to. This must be the perfect subject for this week because this keeps coming up. is she's amazing. She's like a superwoman, right? She works full time. She's doing these extracurricular things. She's in school for her PhD. She's on her health journey. And there are a lot of times when she says, I'm overwhelmed. And I was like, here's the thing. Your life, every single piece of your life right now is 100% of your choosing. Every single piece of it. So if this is the life that you truly want and it feels overwhelming, I challenge you to, number one, decide if your choices are in alignment with what you really wanted. And number two, to decide whether or not you want to continue using the word overwhelmed, or if you want to switch that up and start using the word abundant, because it sounds to me like you've created abundance in your life. Yeah. And it's of your choosing. You get to choose how much you put on that plate. You get to choose whether or not you define it as overwhelm or abundance. You know, you always have a choice. And like, that's the truth bomb. You always have a choice, and you can always control you. That's the one thing that you always have control over. So if you find yourself up shit creek with no paddle, it's because you put yourself there.
Exactly. And back it up and start to think about, like, because sometimes you'll tell yourself, well, I don't have a choice. I have to do this. But think about what you're choosing you have to do. And, you know, the biggest thing is if you can't control the truth bomb of the day is what? If you can't control, you know, you're putting in your mouth, what other areas you're not able to control. And it might hurt. This might sting, and hopefully it will. If it stings, awesome. That gives the opportunities for the growth. Now, everybody tries to seek comfort. That's the other thing. Your comfort zone is where you're at. For you to grow, you need to get uncomfortable. You need to feel the pain, the obstacle. When we coach people, right? The obstacle is the way. Right, Jess?
Amen. The obstacle is the way, right? Yeah, you got to jump for that parachute to open, and jumping is an obstacle. But until you do it, make that choice, take that control.
Yeah. Any final thoughts, Jess, on this awesome Truth Bomb Tuesday?
Absolutely. I always have a final thought. My final thought for you is more of a challenge. Take a look at your life. If you feel out of control in your own health journey, in your own mind, in your own skin, in your own life, let me encourage you to take back that control, because you are not a victim. And the life that you have right now is completely of your own creation. So control the one thing you can control, which is you.
Exactly. I love it. And, you know, I'm listening to David Goggins, love the guy. It can't hurt me. He says the only war you got is the war with yourself. So he goes, go at war with yourself and start to look at those those things that are there.
Yep.
And that's part of it. So awesome next steps. You know, please reach out, comment below. We'd love to help you on Truth Bomb Tuesday, and hopefully we irritated you a little bit. What do you think?
Right? If we pissed you off, you're welcome. It's like Todd said, it might sting a little bit. It's because we just put some hydrogen peroxide on that wound. So you're welcome.
And rub some dirt on it, dust yourself off, and get in the game. Get after it.
Amen.
Awesome.